What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuning in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go! All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got another brand new one for you. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. Sitting down in the beautiful state of South Carolina tonight.
Oh yeah, how has it been since have you done a lot of traveling since COVID? Like since they reopened up stuff?
Not really. Not this was kind of like the first plane flight. Second plane flight. It's fine. The airports are I feel like are a little busier than normal. But and just lines are just a little bit longer. Everyone's kind of, moving a little slower. But other than that, it pretty much, status quo. I mean, other than you have to wear a mask the whole time. And as long as you do that, it's fine. For 4 hours being in the airport and flying down and being out of the airport, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, because it seems like most of the people that are testing positive again are ones that got vaccinated. So I don't know what's up with that, or it's like false positives, being that symptoms could be like runny nose, stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm not. I wouldn't be overly concerned about it. But yeah, I felt like today was better than the last time I flew. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to be getting back to normal once.
Oh yeah.
Another month or two.
Oh yeah.
So let's get right into it, man. I mean, we got NFL almost. We're getting closer and closer to the NFL start.
Yeah, rookies reported today for the Jets, the Bills, the Ravens. So yeah, we're getting there. Next was it end of this week? Next week they open up.
Yep. Then we got another month before preseason, and it'll be full effect. We got week 1 of NFL coming right up.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that.
Then we got your boy Aaron Rodgers turning down deals. He's sticking to his guns, man. It looks like he's trying to get up out of there.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's for him now. What's it about, right? I mean, it's obviously not about the money. If he wanted the money, they offered him, supposedly according to Adam Schefter, they offered him a 2-year extension that would have made him the highest paid player in NFL history. Would have tied him to Green Bay for five more years. I think that puts him at like age 42, which he turned down. So, other than him saying that, he wants out, what exactly are the reasons he wants out now? Now I'm a little confused.
Well, I think it's more personal for him. If you like kind of look back to some of his grievances with people in the past, whether it be his brother, some other prior coaches, he seems like somebody that holds on to those grudges. Not to say it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I also think his conversation with Tom Brady was, put the icing on the cake as far as his decision, being that he didn't want to be tied down to an organization where there's, if he were to sign that extension, there's no way for him to guarantee they're going to go out there and do what's right as far as, getting him some offensive players, or try to get him some, other weapons via trade or anything like that. Based off of their past history, they've ignored pretty much everything he's wanted to do as far as, bringing in new talent, try to hire certain coaches, trying to mix things up. Don't get me wrong, the previous coach was a good coach for them, but I think as a player, you kind of felt slighted, especially if you're like the number one player on the team and you're trying to get all these things, to win, to get you over the hump, but, the organization is kind of ignoring you.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. I mean, the difference between him and Brady was at the end of his contract, so it was easier for him to, easier for them to part ways, right? I think this one's a little more complicated because he's got 3 years left on his deal. It's a lot of money, and it's not like Green Bay is not offering him more years and more money. So, yeah, I know he wants them to change things, but at the same point, it's like I feel like there's very few places in the NFL that'll allow the quarterback to come in and kind of dictate what's going on. Especially, I think Aaron Rodgers is probably, if not the most talented, one of the top 3 most talented NFL quarterbacks. But but he's only got one Super Bowl. It's different when Tom Brady comes in with 6 Super Bowl rings and says, "Hey, this is what I want to do." Right? So I just think that there's a difference there, whether he wants to believe it or not.
Yeah, but I also feel like some people look at it as if the roles were reversed. If Aaron Rodgers was in New England at that time with that type of backing, how many more Super Bowls would have had?
Maybe. Yeah, I just think they're two different players. I think Rodgers is more talented than Brady, but I think Brady's got more of that competitive spirit, drive, the intangible piece of it.
Oh yeah, but I mean it's going to be interesting to see. I mean there are a few teams out there that probably dictate as far as what Aaron wants. I think the Broncos would be a good fit for him as well.
Yeah, there are a few teams out there for sure, but it's still a risk. I mean, the Bucks took a risk last year, taking on Brady, and honestly, and he they were at the White House today, and he mentioned it. They were after week 13, they were 7-5 and looked a little shaky. They got beat up by the Saints on Sunday Night Football, and it was ugly. So I think people at that point were kind of questioning it. Did they make the right move or not? Obviously, they did, but it could easily just kept going south for them. They could have ended the season somewhere in that 8-8 range and not made the playoffs. And then what are you looking at in this offseason? Is Brady looking to move to another team? Are they in full blow it up mode or what?
Yeah, but I mean, just if you think about it, look at your options, right? So like, if you're Aaron Rodgers, right, would you rather be stuck on the team that's not giving you the weapons, or would you rather go on a team where they're trying to appease you, do the right things, get you weapons, and then you lose? I mean, either way, he's not. If he stays with Green Bay, goes to another team, there's no guarantee he's going to win, right?
Right.
But I think if you lose with your efforts, like you put in your efforts as far as like so let's say they give Aaron all these things and he loses. I think at the end of the day, you're still more happy than if you're in a situation where you can't do anything, and then you lose.
Yeah. So this is what bothers me about it is so what is he looking for in weapons? He's got Devontae Adams, who's arguably the best receiver in the league, if not the best. He's definitely top 3. He's got one of the best offensive lines when healthy in the league. Yeah, his defense is not great, but they got the number 1 seed last year in the NFC. They were 13-3, 14-2, so whatever they were. Like they're not a bad team. That's the part that bothers me.
Oh yeah, but I think he's like, if you take him off the team, it's a totally different team.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
So
Agreed.
So I think that's also, you also got to take that into effect. How if he's not on that team, and Jordan Love is starting, being all the pieces they have, do they still go 13-3? Do they go 10-5?
No.
I mean, they probably won't even make the playoffs. Not to say that he's responsible for all their wins, but he's definitely a key piece. So maybe he feels like he's kind of like the lock and key. You put him in any system, it'll fit. But maybe maybe it was also him seeing what other teams are doing. Like, Russell's got 2 receivers, Lockett and Metcalf. Brady had like 4 or 5 receivers, 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, right? So some people are saying maybe he wants to break records. Maybe he wants to go for that, touchdown record or most yards in the season record, but he feels like he can't do it just throwing to one receiver. Don't get me wrong, even though he's a great receiver.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, it is what it is. I guess we'll see what happens here. He doesn't look like he's getting any closer to coming back to Green Bay.
Yeah, and I think it also helps that he's getting especially for players now. I mean, they got so many options outside of the actual sport to make money that them being tied down to a team for a contract really doesn't matter anymore.
No.
Then we got the NBA Finals going on. Milwaukee Bucks took a turnaround 3-2 lead. Won the last 3. They're playing tonight. Game 6. I wonder if Milwaukee's gonna be able to put them away, or if Phoenix gonna extend it out to 7.
Yeah, I mean, tonight's the night for Milwaukee. They don't want to go back to Phoenix, and we've kind of seen it all playoffs. They play better at home. It's a good opportunity for them. I feel like the I feel like CP3's just got something in there to prove, and he's gonna come out gunning. Him and Booker, Nate, and I think they're gonna be a tough one to take down tonight. I think the Suns ultimately take this game and bring it back to a coin flip, Game 7.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna see, man. Who do you think's to blame for that the game 5 loss as far as Phoenix? You think it was like coaching, Chris Paul, or you think it was a Booker?
I don't know. It's tough to lay blame. I felt like the Bucks have changed their game around. Drew Holiday's played exceptionally well in the last few games.
Yep.
Ballsy pass at the end there, alley oop to Giannis. That could have easily gone wrong, and then you lose the game, and then you look foolish. But obviously it worked out, and they took it home. But no, I think it's more kind of just giving credit to the Bucks. They've kind of figured out how to handle Phoenix, and Ayton's been kind of neutralized. I mean, he was huge in the first 2 games, and you haven't heard anything from him over the last 3.
Hmm.
And when Drew's playing on Booker, I feel like he does a really good job, containing him, keeping him quiet. I mean, you saw that last play, he stole the ball between him and Chris Middleton, keeping him in check.
Yeah, they were definitely making the key plays during crunch time as far as defensively.
Yeah, I did think it was weird that CP3 wasn't kind of holding the ball there towards the end and kind of running that high pick and roll there.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It seems like we haven't seen a lot of pick and roll with CP3 and
No,
Aiton
I wonder if
the
it's
last few
because
games.
I wonder if it's because of the way that they're guarding it. If Ayton is just kind of being, like I said, just a little bit neutralized there with Giannis.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he needs to be more aggressive, down in the post, or
Yeah,
I don't know. Sometimes it seems like he's like playing volleyball with the rebounds
yeah,
instead of just like grabbing it. But
yeah.
that's just me.
There is a lot of balls that seem to just pop off guys' hands, and they're trying to bat them up in the air.
I'm gonna tell you, 2 players on Phoenix, they're gonna get paid come free agent time. That's Cam Johnson and the forward.
Campaign. Oh,
No, not Payne.
Bridges,
Bridges.
not Mikhail.
Yep. Yeah, Bridges and Cam Johnson. Those two are gonna get paid come free agency time if they once they hit the market.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are like solid role players. I mean they play good away and home. I think Cam's at Johnson averaging like 10 points a game. Not the greatest defender, but I mean he'll give you a few buckets. And then he caught that dunk on
PJ
yeah,
Tucker.
yeah, PJ Tucker. That was crazy. And then Bridges is great. I mean he plays a lot of defense. He reminds me of like a kind of I want to say a more offensive Bruce Bowen,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't say he has Bruce Bowen type of defense where he's locking everybody down. But he's definitely a good defender.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to get it to Team USA with the struggles.
the str- the struggles before they even get to Tokyo.
Yeah, losing games, players on COVID shutdown protocol. I don't know if it's looking like this might not be the year, man.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. Now, obviously, they lose Beal, one of their best scorers, replaced with was it Keldon Johnson, and then JaVale McGee replacing Kevin Love.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it seemed like they went more into the trying to get the glue guys. Maybe they realized that they got enough scoring that they need to focus on getting those guys that are going to do the dirty work. Um,
Yeah,
I think Zach LaVine may join the team later this week. It sounds like, but yeah, it's definitely not the team that you're feeling like super impressed with after this past week and having a couple losses like we talked about last week and some uninspiring wins, I would say, to finish off their exhibition run. But who knows when you get to Tokyo that they're literally going to be on lockdown, so there's nothing they can do. Obviously that wasn't the case in Vegas. Guys were most likely going out and doing whatever.
hmm
So maybe there's a little more focus when they get to Tokyo. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how game 1 goes and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they bounce back and if players step it up.
Yeah.
Knowing people kind of don't fear them this year. Based off they were the way they've been playing. A lot of their games been closer than normal that we're used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got another edition of the Sports Sidebar Podcast mock draft, NBA draft coming up in about like a week and a half. So we're going to give you our picks for our lottery picks, 1 to 14, as far as what teams are going to pick out there.
With the first pick.
All right, so with the first pick, the Detroit Pistons select Cade Cunningham, guard from Oklahoma State. I think, this is kind of a census. He'll probably be the first pick off the board. I think Detroit doesn't mess this up, being they still have those Carmelo Anthony ghosts haunting them, being that they drafted Darko Milicic back in the day instead of grabbing Carmelo behind LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they know not to get a big. They'll go with the guard and, try to reset their franchise.
Yeah, it seems like the most logical pick. I mean, it sounds like they're, kicking the tires on a few other guys, but I feel like that this is kind of the consensus number one. I know we've talked about it before, but I'm more of a Jalen Suggs guy, but I know that they draft. Sometimes they draft these players not only based on their current abilities, but just that that raw talent, and he definitely has it. So.
Oh yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see how he fits with that roster because they just drafted a point guard last year. So maybe I don't know if they're gonna keep him at the 1 or the 2. So we're gonna have to wait and see. But they're gonna have a big team.
Yeah. This is big for Detroit. I thought they were a pretty gritty team last year. Obviously not a good team, getting the #1 pick, but I feel like they have some of the right pieces there. They could probably turn this around pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. So I mean, the East is kind of open as far as the bottom half of those teams. Yeah. So.
With the second pick.
All right, with the second pick, Houston Rockets. We'll go Jalen Green on this one.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, I feel like they, I could see them going Suggs here as well. I think they stay away from Evan Mobley. It's based on them having, some Christian Wood down there who when healthy is really good. They could go Suggs. I know they have. They don't necessarily need point guard help, but I think they do need another scorer down there. I think Jalen Green can fit in nicely there.
Oh yeah, I think that's a better fit. Being that they have Woods already, I think they kind of need to build on that in that guard position. If John Wall's not the answer, depending if how long they decide to keep him or buy him out, we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yep.
With the third pick.
The Cleveland Cavaliers select Evan Mobley, center from USC.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, it's an obvious choice. Hopefully they don't botch this and try to draft another point guard. But he's definitely the best available player out there that's left on the board right now. They also need help at that center position, being that they let go of Drummond. Looks like I don't know how long they're going to hold on to Kevin Love, but he's in and out of injuries, so. They definitely need to rebuild that franchise.
Yeah, and I think you've heard the kind of rumors flying around about Colin Sexton, and I think that getting a big there to kind of hold down that front court will be big for Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
With the fourth pick,
Toronto's gonna take Jalen Suggs.
Oh, your boy.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good, transitioning of Kyle Lowry out and Jalen Suggs coming in. Lowry's a sneaky 36 years old this year.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, if not done this year, maybe, I could see him maybe coming back on a shorter money deal. But if not, you got the next guy right here in Jalen Suggs.
Oh yeah, I think Drake will love that. As well, I think it would be nice. They're building a nice little young nucleus. With him and Siakam and
Van Vliet.
Yeah, I mean they got a nice little squad there.
They
So it's gonna
do.
be interesting to see, if they can maintain that playoff appearance, because they kind of fell out the playoffs this year, but to see if they can bounce back and get in there.
Yeah, I felt like they're not that far away from being a playoff team again, and I think this will help them for sure.
Oh yeah.
With the 5th pick.
The Orlando Magic. I got them taking Scotty Barnes, forward from Florida State. Another big kid from Florida State, 6'8". They just pop them out down there.
I know, it just feels like every guy that comes out of Florida State's 6'8", 6'9", 220.
20, yeah. So I mean, I kind of feel like the forward position is kind of what they're missing. I mean, they do have another pick in a few, like 3 or 4 picks from now. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they pair them up. They got Mobot too, but he was out last year as I don't know if they're gonna run him as a center or a 4. But I mean, they also I feel like they're gonna need a point guard. I don't know if Mikael Fultz. I don't know if he
Fultz.
yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be a viable option for them. Because I think he had an ACL too, so might miss half the season.
Yeah, he might be out for a little while, but I felt like he was playing well, and they were happy with his progress. So I think that's still going to be an option for them.
Yeah, but I just feel like they're gonna need another backup. Somebody give some more playing time, being that he's gonna be out.
With the 6th pick.
Oklahoma City. We're gonna go back to the G League and Jonathan Kuminga.
Ooh, okay.
Kind of a similar build. Scotty Barnes. I feel like he's more of a shooting guard than that small forward. They've kind of compared him to Jaylen Brown. He plays both offense and defense. Maybe has to work on his shooting a little bit, but I think that this is another guy that has that size and that potential. Oklahoma City's in kind of that full rebuild, so I feel like this would be a good pick for them.
I mean, they got about like 35 more first round picks, so I mean they're bound to hit on one of these. So
I can tell you as a Celtics fan that doesn't necessarily help you.
Oh yeah, but I mean they're one of the teams that actually hit on those first round picks.
Sure,
and got them to a finals. Hopefully they can recapture that magic.
Yeah, that's I mean that's what they got to go for, right? I mean, Presti's got all the ammunition. Now it's time to see what he can do.
And have to wait and see.
Oh yeah.
And then with the number 7 pick, the Golden State Warriors, I got them kind of reaching here. I think they're gonna go Franz Wagner, small forward from Michigan.
Wagner.
I think he gives them kind of somebody that's I want to say used to pressure. A big guy, big at the 4, because I think they're gonna try to move either what's this guy's name?
Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, Oubre or
Wiggins.
So that'll free up at the 4 spot and try to get either another big or another guard that can handle the ball to relieve Steph off some duties, as well as Clay. So it's going to be interesting to see what they go here, because they do have another pick. Wondering if they'll try to trade up for somebody they really like, but we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's another team where I don't necessarily know if they hold on to this pick or they try to package it with Wiggins and see what they can get. But they have a ton of those guys that are the shooting guard type, the two guard. I think that getting a guy with a little more height, playing that 3-4 position will be beneficial for them.
Oh yeah, because I feel like at that guard position they're gonna need more experience, just in case another injury comes in.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's why they're going to go with a 4 if they're going to keep the pick. Like a 3-4 somewhere in there to give them some kind of bench, so to say, because it seems like they've always been lacking some kind of bench outside of the year they won that 73 games.
Yeah, no, they have been. I mean, once that starting 5 comes off, it's not very deep.
No.
With the 8th pick.
Back to Orlando. I'm going to say they're going to go Moses Moody. Pick up that shooting guard, someone to help on the scoring end. Moody's young, freshman out of Arkansas, but I felt like he had a really good tournament. He looked good there. He's bigger. He's long, and I think that he can kind of jump right in and help them.
Yeah, I mean that'd be good to see. It seems like with those two picks, they're trending in the right direction. Got them a 3 and 4 to build around a lot of young players. I mean, both those guys are like
Scotty Barnes.
Barnes is 19, and I think they're both 19. So
yeah,
I mean that's a pretty young roster right there. Hopefully they got the right coach in place to coach those players up.
Yep.
With the 9th pick,
we got the Sacramento Kings. I don't know what's going on with this team. They can go in any direction. I think they're gonna go Key Jones, the forward center from Texas.
Ooh.
I think they're not having the best of time with Marvin Bagley over there. I think they try to find his replacement. But I mean, they could go any direction. They kind of need help at all positions outside of maybe the 1 and 2 because they got Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox. So I mean, they could definitely go a 3. They go a 3, 4, 5. But I mean, I think Key Jones is probably the best 4 or 5 left on the board. I think one of the best forwards. Franz Wagner already went off. The only other option for them to go is Corey Kispert, the other forward from Gonzaga. But I think they're going to go Key Jones.
Okay, that's he's a big boy out of Texas. Again, young kid. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think they're kind of not necessarily sold on Bagley, but I don't know. I feel like they still try to go small forward here, but I could definitely see them kind of, like you said, just kind of drafting anybody. I feel like Sacramento is just like such a wild card.
Yeah, they can go in any direction. They could turn around and go another point guard, and you're like, what? What?
With the 10th pick,
the New Orleans Pelicans. I think they're gonna add a Duke guy. I think they're gonna go Jalen Johnson here.
Oh, the troublemaker.
He troublemaker, yeah. But I think you pair him up with Zion. Try to do what you can to keep Zion. Get him happy. He's a fellow Duke guy. They can kind of I just feel like these guys have some sort of connection, and they need they got Ingram, they got Zion. They need a guy to play that kind of that 3 spot. Or the 2-3 there, and I think Jalen Johnson can do that for them.
Yeah, that's a bit interesting pick because Zion usually plays a 4, so I don't know if.
Yeah, and I know Ingram's taller, but he's more like a 2.
We have to wait and see what their new head coach does, and I don't even know if they're going to keep hold of Ball. I think he might want to be out of there. They might need a point guard too, so.
They may, yeah, for sure.
With the 11th pick,
the Hornets. I think they're going to go out there and get Corey Kispert, small forward from Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
Gives them another forward option, besides Hayward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they already pretty much got their point guard. I think they're going to need some good role players that can come in and fit in and, give them buckets, being that, Ball's going to be out there dishing and diamond, throwing alleys, looking for people open for the 3. I think that'd be a nice fit for them.
Yeah, I feel like they need I feel like they need to shore up their bench a little bit. When those guys kind of got off the court, Charlotte stunk. Their second, once you got past, like LaMelo, Rozier, and Hayward, and Mikal was it Bridges? No, what's his name? Is it Bridges? The guy that dunks on everybody.
Yeah, Bridges.
Yeah, I just felt like their second team was just terrible.
Yeah, I think this is where they go to build up their bench. They do need some bigs as well. I think they're going to go to free agency to get a big, get one of those vet bigs.
Yeah. Yep.
With the 12th pick,
Spurs are going to go Davion Mitchell from Baylor. I think they're going to.
I see the fit.
Yeah, I think that he's a little bit older. A little bit older. He's he's a junior in college.
He's like 20. he's a little bit older. He's 20.
I just feel like he's a guy that can come in and either back up Patty Mills or potentially end up taking over that number one role, the point guard role. And I don't know. I just feel like that Pop likes to draft these guys that even if they have a little more experience, he doesn't seem to draft these freshmen that are coming off of 1 year. He likes to get a guy with a little bit of experience. I feel like this is kind of right up his alley.
Oh yeah, I think he needs that point guard.
Yep.
To give him some toughness, kind of like that Tony Parker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just seems like they draft well. They sign free agents well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm sure that whoever they pick will be a good fit for them.
Yeah.
With the 13th pick,
The Indiana Pacers. I feel like they're gonna go Keon Johnson, shooting guard from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Another a potential scorer. He has a lot of potential. They kind of have their big set. I feel like they're going to try to replace that Oladipo position. Somebody that could come in and score, give us some buckets. That's a team that can go any direction as well. Kind of like the Kings. Not to say that they're a much better team than the Kings, but they don't really have a dire need, so to say.
Yeah, they're just like they're one of those teams that's like okay at each position, right? I mean, obviously Sabonis is a really good player down at that 4 or 5 position. But yeah, I feel like kind of everywhere. And they got Miles Turner, who's pretty good defensively. Had a pretty good I thought he had a really good year, to be honest.
Yep.
But then after that, I don't know. I don't know that they have anyone that jumps out at me. Brogdon, I thought was only okay this year. They got the Holiday brothers. I don't know. There's no one like on that team kind of like jumps out at you, at least to me. I really like TJ Warren, more of that kind of like spot up 3, but they need they'll have Karras, I think he might be under contract. They'll have him. You can pair him up with another guy, and I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, they got a bunch of solid players on their team, like no superstars,
right?
But they'll be in that towards that bottom half fighting for a playoff spot. So.
Yep. So yeah, I think that's a good spot for them.
with the 14th pick,
Last lottery pick, Golden State getting their second pick of the lottery. I think they're gonna go James Bouknight from UConn. I don't know if you got to watch a lot of him this year. He was kind of oft injured this year, but few games I did watch him. He was impressive. I think he stands out. He's super athletic. He can really put the ball in the hoop. And I think if they go, if they do go, more of the, big route, or I don't know. I think it depends what they do with their first pick, but I think if they have a guy like Bouknight that's still there, potentially be, that 6th, 7th guy off the bench, like we talked about, getting some points there where last year they didn't, they couldn't do anything off the bench. So, someone that can spell Steph and Clay for a little while and get some points.
Yeah, especially for Clay, being that, they don't want to re-aggravate his injury.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sure he's going to be on like limited minutes restrictions, for games, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they're going to need somebody that's comfortable having the ball in their hand a lot.
Yeah.
When those guys are not on the floor. And if you guys are interested in hearing more about the NBA mock draft, follow us on Sports Sidebar Pod on Instagram. Outside of that, we got your boy Damian Lillard backtracking, saying I don't really officially want to trade, but trying to see what the team's about to do.
Jesus.
How long do you think he waits to officially request a trade, or you think it's a lot of backtrack and then he just gets traded?
Yeah, I think they trade him. I think that's probably now just him trying not to look like a jerk, and I don't at this point with these guys, I don't think that they do. Especially a guy like Dame. It's not like he's it's not like he's 25 coming off his first contract and he just signed a big deal. Obviously, He's in I think this is his third contract. He's going to be 31. He's been there for 10 years. I think that he probably is kind of fed up with it. I just, these guys want to win championships, and you see it happening around the league. You see it with Golden State. You saw it with Miami. You saw, LeBron going to LA. I think these guys just kind of get it in their head that if they can get onto a team with a couple other star players, that it gives them a chance. And I think when he looks at his team right now, that he just doesn't see that chance to win it all. And if he's not going to do it now, when's he going to do it?
Yeah, I mean they've been hurt through a lot of injuries. They had some opportunities to get there, but couldn't get past Golden State, as a lot of teams couldn't when they were on that run.
Sure.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see, where if he requests a trade in and gives the teams that you're interested in trading for, or if or even the package that some teams offer to try to get him.
Yeah, I think the package will be interesting. I think it's going to be a lot to get him away. There's probably only a couple of teams willing to do something like that. But yeah, I think I'd say he's going to be out.
Yeah, and then the aftermath too, because once he goes, it's going to be like a domino effect. There's going to be a lot of other players on the team that want to go too, to see if they get traded in a three team trade or something like that.
If you move Dame, you got to be prepared to move Nurkic and CJ McCollum too, and just kind of start all over and try to build it back up again.
Yep. So we're gonna wait and see. And I don't know if you saw Adele with Rich Paul, but it's not really NBA news. But
which was this?
The Suns game, the last game. Rich Paul was with Adele.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Adele, huh? She's still around?
Yeah, man. She lost a lot of.
weight.
She looks very different, man. Then we had the British Open just finished up.
Yeah, it was. I still feel like it's one of my, like I talked about last week, one of my favorite golf championships to watch. Had a pretty good leaderboard going into the weekend. Luke Tayson, Spieth was right there, Colin Morikawa, and after I think probably the 7th hole on Saturday, Morikawa really dominated. Hit some really good shots. The key to that course was kind of surviving the first 6 holes and then starting to attack, and he did exactly that on Sunday. Parred the first 6 and then birdied 7 and 9 on his way out, and basically just held strong from there. Got to 15 under, and Spieth couldn't catch him. I think he made a big birdie putt on 14 that put him up 2 with 4 to go, and that was pretty much lights out. There's some tough holes coming in there, tough holes to get close to. So no, he hit the ball great. His knack has always been his putting isn't great, especially inside like 15 feet. He didn't have a bogey over his last, I think, 23 holes or something like that. So I turned on Saturday morning. He looked a little shaky early, and Oosthuizen was solid, and Spieth was kind of heating up, but he was ultimately the one that pulled off. The guy hits amazing iron shots. He can lay it back further than these guys, and he's putting 200-yard iron shots right on the pin. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun to watch. It's good, seeing a guy like that, younger guy, first time over in the UK playing golf, take it down, and now he's off to Tokyo to represent the U.S. in the Olympics. Oh
yeah, I think that was his biggest payout too. Of his career.
Yeah, it was a big one. These majors. His second major. He's 24 years old, getting some big cash early on for these guys.
Yeah, it's a nice little payout right there.
Oh yeah. So we got the Ryder Cup, or we got the FedEx Cup coming up here after the Olympics, and then the Ryder Cup this year. So although it's the last major, we won't have another major until April. There's still some some good golf coming up here over the next couple months.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who can bounce back. I feel like the guys that always end up like second, third, they never do well on the next tournament.
Yeah, that's the tough thing about golf. It's you do sometimes ride the momentum. You saw John Rahm. He was another top 10 finish in the major. I think he's had all top 10s this year. He's been playing really good golf. He had a couple. His putter just kind of failed him this week. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to compete at a high level every single week on the tour, which is why even Tiger in his prime was only playing 14 or 15 tournaments a year, because he when he went out, he wanted to win, and he didn't want to not have a focus on what he was doing. And sometimes I feel like these guys commit to tournaments, whether it be because of their sponsor or whatever, that you could tell day one that they're not into it. But yeah, it's tough. It's definitely a grind, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean it's probably gonna be the same favorites. Rams, Feast in the next tournament. It's gonna be interesting to see which one can actually pull it off or
who can take it down.
Yeah, we got another underdog coming up.
Oh yeah, that's the fun of golf right now. Is you don't really know who's gonna win week to week.
Yeah, unless it's Tiger in his prime.
Yeah, exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. We got another brand new edition for you guys for JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right, we're gonna go with the southern theme, being in South Carolina. So today we got a take on a chicken sandwich. So we did this was a grilled chicken sandwich with a little bit of pesto, a fried green tomato on top, and then a pepper jack cheese.
Sounds like you went to Chick-fil-A.
Kinda. Now that you say that, yeah. It seems like that's just the thing down south. And
yeah,
then,
a lot of chicken spots.
Side of truffle fries with that.
Okay, sometimes some places don't do the truffle fries right. Sometimes they make them like too truffly.
Yeah,
you
gotta do them right.
Or like it overpowers it.
Yeah, it can for sure.
And then what are you drinking that down with?
All right, we're taking it down with it's again a local brewery here, New Realm Brewery.
Okay.
Beer is it's called Hazy Like a Fox IPA, kind of the New England style. It's Azacca, El Dorado, Mosaic, and Citra hops. So Citra, obviously the summer style beer. I think it's their take on a New England IPA. 6.5%, so it's brewed in Georgia, so right down the road here from where we are. But yeah, it's definitely a little fruity. You do get a little bit of a lemon and pineapple as well, but refreshing. Good summer IPA. Not too boozy. Pretty good. So I'd say give it like a solid 7.2.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad for just kind of taking a shot at something local-ish, in the store.
Oh yeah, it's right on par. I mean, you never really had bad ones besides that one time.
Yeah. No, I try to stay away from bad ones.
And then that's JD's Bites and Brew. Then this week wasn't really much on the BRRs, but you forced me to watch Space Jam and review it. So here's my damn take. I gave it a okay. Meanwhile, disclaimer: this is a kids movie. This is not a movie for adults.
I have heard that it is a straight kids movie.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of the original Space Jam and you're an adult now, unless you have kids, this movie is probably not going to be for you. Don't get me wrong; it's probably a great kids movie. Being all the stuff they showed as far as the tunes, and then they have like all the different like characters in the stands. They had King Kong. They had the Game of Thrones, Night King, stuff like that. The Night Walkers. They had the Mask. There was a lot of cameos in there. And I wonder if they had to pay for that.
I'm sure they did,
because there was a lot of stuff. So I was like, I know all this is not under. They pretty much had everything but Disney in those stands, which was interesting. So I wonder if they had to license that out or if it really didn't count.
I'm sure they did have to license it.
Yeah, and then I mean, outside of that, I mean, Bugs Bunny died for LeBron's sins. Pretty much how to sum up the end of the movie. LeBron's not the best of actors at times, but I mean, overall, I gave it a 4.8 out of 10. Looking at it as an adult movie, but I mean, if it's looking at it from a kid's point of view, it'll probably be in like the 7 range as far as a good movie for a kid to watch. But
Yeah.
for us adults, I mean, you're gonna be watching, and be like, what am I watching? Just because of the acting. I mean, as an adult compared to a kid, you really don't notice the acting or some of the corny parts or corny jokes. And then yeah, that's my take on it. Uh, it's not it's not better than the first Space Jam, but it's kind of a different movie.
Yep.
It seemed like they stole like, I don't know if you remember that video game NBA Streets.
Yep. Sure do.
They pretty much made that like that basketball version of it.
Okay.
Because I mean, I don't know if you saw it, because there's like a play where like they scored like 900 points on one point, which is kind of ridiculous because the points are based off like style points, like all the stuff you do to score besides scoring.
Terrible.
And not as funny as I thought it would be.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see it. I mean, I felt like Bill Murray in the original one played a big part in keeping that kind of loose and a little bit of comic relief there.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't have that Bill Murray, that person that was there for the comic relief, outside of the tunes, but the tunes really didn't have that many, jokes or stuff like that. So it seems a little bit more serious at times than comical. So
yeah, that sounds about right for LeBron.
But I mean, overall, it's doing great in the box office. Number one movie in the box office, beat out Black Widow. I don't know if it was the most streamed this week. I think the Tomorrow War is still up there as far as like the most streamed movie online. But I know it's definitely number one in the box office. So I think they made their money back already. I think they had like a 150 budget.
Yep.
And I think they're already at like 150 as far as the earnings back. So then I think that's it for the BRRs.
Nice.
I'm just checking out some new shows. Dr. Death. It's about a doctor that I don't know if he lost his license or if he's not really a doctor, but he's like performing surgeries on people and actually killing them, or like leaving them in worse condition.
Okay.
That came out, and then I started White Lotus, which seems like it's with Nicole Kidman, people out on the island for like a vacation. But I can't really tell what's going on. It's kind of weird because one lady's pregnant and you don't really know she's pregnant. Then her water pops, and then like she's like walking about it like fine because she's trying to work. But there's a lot of characters in it, so I'm gonna have to wait and see. I think only two episodes are out. I think that's on HBO. So
okay, yes, let me know. We just finished season 1 of Animal Kingdom, on to season 2.
Oh yeah, you saw what happened at the end, right?
With the cops coming.
With the brother, with
Oh yeah, killing his girlfriend or whatever, burying her in the woods or in the desert.
Wait a minute. What's the brother that's in charge?
Baz. Pope kills Baz's girlfriend.
Oh yeah, okay. But oh yeah, well yeah. I think it's the end of the second season,
Okay.
or the middle of the second season. You'll see some other stuff. So it starts getting crazy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Overall, it's a good show.
Yeah,
you'll probably like it.
We did watch The Conjuring 2, by the way. I hadn't watched that yet. I forgot. I hadn't seen that one. Not
Which
the
one?
not the latest one. The one before that. The one where they're when they go to England.
I'm trying to think.
The little girl, the 11-year-old girl who gets possessed, and they think it's the old, Billy, whatever his name was, and then it was actually the demon that was grasped onto him.
That's the one in the Conjuring 2. Which one is that? Oh, with the son, with the.
No, it's a girl. It's like they start in the.
It's the one with like it's in the seat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was a good one. And then I like those series. I think they're going It's like the only horror thing out really that has a series.
Yeah,
Besides
it's not bad. You know,
besides
they're okay.
they're bringing back the Michael Myers.
Yeah, great. That's all you.
But I mean,
it
takes place right after the last one, so it's not like it's not like he's
they're not bouncing around.
It's not like years later. So
yeah.
And then I know the Beast show starts tomorrow on Netflix, the one where they like disguise him up as like an animal, and then they go on a date.
Yeah,
like the same producers from Love Is Blind, so that'll give us to watch before Love Is Blind come back in like another week and a half. So
cool.
And then that's pretty much it. Until next time.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out with your boy Rich, JD, and Tom here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.